Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
The 2023 Yankees have been hit hard by the injury bug, and they've had some serious underperformance issues, but they're still right in the thick of things. And with the schedule lightening up in June, the Yankees may be able to make up some serious ground. In this video, 5 reasons you can still be optimistic despite the Yankees' somewhat mediocre start to 2023. This video is part of a 2-part series on whether or not the Yankees are contenders or actually just pretenders, and we'll let you be the judge. Reason number 5 why the Yankees should be considered contenders is that they have survived the worst of the damage. Despite being extremely hard hit by injuries to guys like Giancarlo Stanton, Luis Severino, Carlos Rodon, at the time of this video, they're just 6.5 games back with more than a half a season left to play. The Rays have also had their own troubles lately with injuries, and their record has dipped some. After going 23-6 in March and April, they slowed down to 17-12 in May. On the Yankee side, most of their lineup has returned, and Harrison Bader, despite being out right now, should be back pretty soon. If they can stay healthy for a while, the weather is heating up. The conditions could be ideal for them to go on a home run barrage. They led the AL in home runs in May, and there's very little reason to believe they won't do it in June, especially with Giancarlo coming back and Josh Donaldson finding his groove right away in his first game back against the Dodgers. Reason number 4 that the Yankees should be considered serious contenders. They have got the bullpen. They have pitched excellent despite some serious injuries. Clay Holmes has settled into a middle relief role for the most part, and he'll close out games when they've got a nice big lead. But I think the Yankees are very encouraged by the arrival of Jimmy Cordero, of Ian Hamilton, who's currently injured but had a 1.23 ERA through his first 16 games and is just 28 years old. Michael King is back. He's got a 1.76 ERA this season. Wandy Peralta has been tremendous once again. Ron Marinaccio has been a little bit up and down, but he's still got more than a strikeout per inning, indicating good stuff. And there's one area that the Yankees have been excellent at, that's developing and finding relief pitching. So the bullpen should be a strength. Reason number 3 that the Yankees should be considered contenders, Gleyber Torres is good again. Now, he's not the Gleyber Torres from 2019 that hit 38 home runs, but his average is climbing up. He's hitting for a better average than he has in the last couple of years. He's benefiting from the shift. A lot of those hard grounders that were getting caught up the middle are getting through. His on-base percentage is up. He's got a 341 on-base percentage at the time of this video. It was just 310 last season, and the OPS is kind of hanging around 800, which is really good. His OPS last season was 114. This year it's slightly higher so far at 115. And you got to figure that he's going to continue to get better. He's still entering his prime. He's just 26 years old. The strikeout rate has dropped. He's putting the ball in play. He doesn't crush the ball every time, but he's a guy you can usually count on to make contact. And he hits some big home runs. He's been clutch throughout his Yankees career. However, he is somebody that the Yankees possibly could deal. He is one of their more valuable trade pieces. He signed for another season, but that should give him more trade value. Would the Yankees be ready to hand the keys over to Oswald Peraza despite his hot start at AAA? Another reason that Yankees fans should be optimistic as 2023 marches on is that the starting pitching is going to get better. Carlos Rodon is working his way back, and not only is he an excellent pitcher when healthy, and he says that he feels good, but he's a guy who usually wears out in the second half, but he's not going to have that issue this year because he's not going to start his season until the second half. So he should be in mid-season form right as the playoffs begin. Also, Luis Severino came back and threw 2 really good starts before having a hiccup against the Los Angeles Dodgers, but in his first couple of outings, his stuff looked phenomenal. David Cohn suggested that in his third outing, he was going through a little bit of a dead arm phase because he didn't have a spring training. I tend to believe David Cohn when he talks about pitching because he knows what he's talking about. But when you factor in Luis Severino and Carlos Rodon being potentially at full strength headed into a playoff series, watch out. Also, Garrett Cole has had some ups and downs this season, but at times he's looked unhittable. And Nestor Cortes, despite having some trouble getting deep into games, has been really good in the first 4 or 5 innings most of the time. And the final reason that the Yankees fans should remain optimistic is, hey, we've got Aaron Judge, and he is doing it again. He has gotten off to another great start. Despite a brief amount of time on the injured list, he still leads the American League in home runs. He's been especially hot lately. He was the player of the month for May, and the weather is just heating up. It would not shock me one bit to see him win the player of the month for June, maybe July, maybe August as well. When the weather's hot and the ball is flying, Aaron Judge is almost unstoppable. If he gets the ball in the air, it's almost always gone. He just can't be pitched to when he's red hot. He's also become a .300 hitter in recent years. The man is a fantastic defensive player. He's robbed multiple home runs this season. I mean, what can you say? He's probably going to win another MVP unless Shohei Ohtani somehow beats him out, and Ohtani is having a great year. But Aaron Judge could be the guy that leads the Yankees to the promised land. And as the captain, more confident, not playing for a contract, just going out there and playing every day, hopefully he won't face the pressure that he faced at the end of last season that caused him to slump. Would not shock me to see him finish with more than 50 home runs again and to take home his second consecutive Most Valuable Player award. And I expect him to lead the Yankees to the division title.